Being an entrepreneur might appear to be easy, but things didn't just get this way. Welcome to the Broken Entrepreneur Podcast. Yo, baby pop. Hey, y'all, it's your favorite perky barista, Juanita Michelle, and we're at Third Perk Coffee House and Wine Bar in beautiful downtown Dayton. Today, I have with me none other than the legendary Deon Cash. How you doing?
Pleasure to see you once again.
It's a pleasure for you to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No
how are you doing?
I am great. I am great. It has been a great day. The sun is shining and it's cooler here.
Oh, it's nice and brisk in here. You know?
I don't know. It's
nice
been hot. It's been hot in the coffee house.
Color purple hot. But we cooled it off though.
The hot is kind of hot. Okay, y'all. So this is a Broken Entrepreneur Podcast. And we're here not to celebrate brokenness, but really to talk about how entrepreneurs get through challenging times so that we can share that information with others so it may help you in anything that you're going through. So, again, I am Juanita Michelle. I'm the owner of Third Perk. We are located at 146 East 3rd Street in beautiful downtown Dayton. But today, we want to learn more about Mr. Cash. I want to know all the deets, y'all. I mean, he is an athlete. He is a media guy.
Yeah.
He does productions. We're going to learn all of it, but I'm going to let Deon talk about himself. So, can you just give us a little background on who you are and what makes you an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Well, my name's Deon Cash. I've been in the media business for about 10 years now.
Okay.
I went to Dayton Television after I had finished unceremoniously retired from basketball. Well, I got cut from the CBA. And then I was kind of trying to figure out if I was going to go back and play overseas or if I was going to go back into my field. Once I decided that I wasn't going to go back and play, then I knew I had to get back into my field, which is communications.
Okay.
I went to college for it. Basically finished at Cumberland. I got one class to go. Found out I still got to take one class to get my papers. All right. Yeah.
Wait a minute. One class then or one class now?
No, one class now. I'm a kinesiology class away from having my degree.
Okay.
But I thought I already had, that's another story. But once I realized that I wasn't gonna play ball, I decided to get into the field of communications and PR, and I didn't have a lot of options. But I knew that somebody had told me about Dayton Television, and so I was like, well, it can't hurt. Let me go check it out. So I went there. And I was able to kind of, just learn everything over. Just a great place to learn stuff. Dayton Television, no question about it. If you don't have the money to be able to go out and buy crazy equipment and you need to and you don't know what you're doing, I would suggest going over to Dayton Television, no question.
Okay. Now, is this our DATV?
Yeah, that's DATV. I still actually work with them now. They've helped, elevate SE Live to what it is almost. I just had a dream. I just had an idea. I mean, I was at not a great point. I got cut. I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do? I ain't never got cut from the team, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I was like, this is something I need to get back into. You got to strap them up and get back to business sometimes, and that's a hard thing when as an entrepreneur starting. The first year or two, it's like, is this what I really want to do? Am I cut out for this? A lot of things looking at yourself. But
yes.
I knew I wanted to get back into communications and be able to do something on the radio, TV, broadcast, some side. So I had to get some training, and I had already been in college.
Okay.
So I'm like, where am I going to go and get more training? Because I done forgot, because I've been playing ball for like 6-7 years, and
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about broadcasting, even though I knew I could fall back on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I was like, day television became I went there, and kind of the rest, I didn't put any labels. I just was like, I'm just gonna go through it, see what I like. And about, I don't know, 6 months later, I decided to create the sports effect
Okay. So
And-
SE Live, that's Sports Effect.
live.
Okay.
So it's like the sports effect. I like that. I mean, it's it's always gonna be dear to my heart. But like SE Live, I just like the way it comes off. Sports, and I've been branding it like that for about 6 or 7 years now.
Okay.
And then I also did a show called Deon Sports, which we won Best Sports Show back-to-back years.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, and that was kind of in between, like as we started to kind of grow and figure out, all right, I want to do this on a professional level.
Mm-hmm.
This was after about 5 years. We had done stuff for pros.
Mm-hmm.
I covered pros like the first few weeks. I got a chance to actually do some stuff, but
Okay.
to have your own brand is a little different, or to have your own
Absolutely.
podcast or your show, it's just different. So I was able to just learn a lot, and then I decided to just jump out on the ledge and create a sports show because nobody else was doing it, and let's do it. You know what I mean? And you get all that energy, and you're like, yeah,
It's
and
nice
then,
to be the first or the only.
well, yeah, it was somebody doing it, but not really. It was kind of like it was untapped.
Okay.
Back, think about it. 10 years ago, nobody was podcasting,
Well, yeah.
and you still had radio that was prevalent, really
Mhm.
prevalent, right?
Yes.
Online wasn't as like there was no online. It was Faceland radio.
It was still
It was just
pioneer.
barely
Yes.
pioneering.
Yeah. It
So
was.
like at that point, I was still on, but I was on TV at that time. Like I was pushing my show for TV, but I knew if I was ever going to get to a certain level, I would have to hit radio
Okay.
because a good sports person has to go through TV and radio at some time, or now podcasting and TV.
Okay.
Like you have to go through that whole online or radio fan base network to build your fan base, which I'm still doing. But you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, so a lot of stuff to it. But once I went back to dating television, I started my show, and then I started to just add people and organically. Rest in heaven to my guy Tony Day. He was a guy who worked with us. Did a lot of help.
Mr. Day.
Mr. Day, Mr. Day,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, and we are doing a internship in his in honor of his name, called
Okay.
a New Day Sports and Media Internship,
Okay.
where you can be from the age of we're looking at ages about 12 all the way up to 80, because we know people will change their minds and they will want to do something else. And a lot of people are getting into sports media right now. So
Okay.
I feel like now is a great time to kind of create something. But it's kind of crazy, like to be able to get to this point. I will say that as I'm rambling, but like, I mean, to start with just an idea
Okay.
at a low point in my life, and to be able to just see it through year after year, day after day, month after month. It's just, I got to knock on wood because sometimes I can't even believe it but sports prepared me for business.
Okay. Now, when you were making that transition from leaving the court and preparing your media life, did you create a plan? Did you have what was your method as you formally as you were doing it? Did you do a business plan? Did you You know, any of that?
Business plan was make it look good, make it sound good. You know, it wasn't I didn't have a business plan at that point.
Okay.
Because I didn't know I didn't know where it was gonna go.
Okay.
Did
you think of it as a business when you started?
No, I just thought of it as a show.
Okay.
And so that's a good point, because I would say in about 7 years ago, maybe longer than that, I started doing sand volleyball tournaments at Setters, the SmackDown, and basketball camps.
Oh, I think I've been to one of those.
I don't know, you might have a long time ago.
Like in
maybe
2020, maybe?
No, not in 2020, because 2020? COVID.
We went to.
I didn't know any.
It was one in 2020. Okay. We went to a Setters tournament in 2020.
Okay. So I started started trying to become a business once I started doing those. I still didn't really have much any business plans, because I wasn't, I was still feeling like I was building it.
Okay.
So I didn't feel like I could get any money from any sponsors, or I didn't feel like it was ready.
Okay.
And that was 7 years ago. All right, 7, 8 years ago. But the volleyball tournaments was jumping. We were averaging 25, 30 teams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the basketball, I did different things that I was connected with in the sports realm.
Okay.
And I just worked on the craft of becoming a better host, analyst. I watched guys, I practiced, different sayings. I edited, I would just mess around, I became a media rat. I became a media rat, like they call it, gym rat. Just looking at videos, trying to, just doing whatever I could. I became that guy, because I knew you got to dig in there and figure out. You got to dig in there. When it's your own business, you have to get in there and get dirty and clean it up.
Yes.
And people will tell you, "Oh man, that's nice. Oh, but you need to do," and then you take it. Either you take it man, don't tell me what to do, or you be like, all right, man, you know what, I'm going to take that advice. I'm going to go ahead and work on that.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to do that.
Yeah, or you put it in 2 columns. There are 2 columns that you use. So the one column that you use, because I've never believed that I could hear so much great advice. Look.
Man.
Great advice. So I would put some advice in the column of those who dare not jump off the cliff, and they're bystanders. And they're always going to be able to give you the best thing that you should do as they're bystanding. And then there are people like seasoned entrepreneurs who've done it forever. And they may say, hey, look out for this, or pay attention to that. Did you know that you can get help here? Or, things like that, which was really helpful because they had already walked the path. So that information was in the right column. But sometimes that left column, like I said, I put it in those columns because sometimes I went back and looked at that information.
Yeah.
Because sometimes even those people who are afraid, who never act on building a business themselves, can still give you some gems that you can use.
Yeah, no question about it. And no matter how good you are, you either getting better or you're getting worse at your craft.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Most of the time. You don't just sit back on something and be like, all right, I got better today. You don't get better unless you continue to work on things that you're weak at.
Yes.
And so I'm still working on that in the business side, but I would say business-wise, when we did our deal with Fox Sports Radio, that's when I felt like we're a business.
Okay.
Tell
us about that. What did that look like?
Well, it looked like it was going perfect. February 20, UD Flyers #3 in the country. I'm doing my thing with the high school.
Okay.
I just got a gig with the Dayton Weekly newspaper, which I have right here. Make sure y'all get the Dayton Weekly News. We're also online as well. Black owned, 25 years in the game.
That's right.
And
Shout out
we're
to Don
working. Yeah, Mr. Black, thank you, sir. And rest in peace to Mr. Black as well. Right. But I just felt like in order to go to the next level, I had to get to either radio or TV. Now, I had talked about the numbers, but I hadn't really went to either, but I felt like Fox Sports Radio, to me, was, we all want to go to ESPN, right? But Fox Sports Radio, just as good.
Yes.
Like a lot of respectable people. Look, Shannon Sharp just left, got a big deal to go to ESPN, you know what I mean? But he was the man at Fox Sports Radio. And it was like, we took our whole show and my whole team. So we get there, it's great. Oh my God, we here. March Madness here. And what happens in March 2020? Coronavirus. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we get there, we shoot 1 week of the show. Anthony Parker, my guy, happy post-birthday to him. And I get with you, my bro, but a week later, COVID hit. We never went back into the studio. I did like 20-something weeks, or 25 or 26 weeks from the basement. Shout out to my guy, Greg Forstoffel. We ran that bad boy over and over and over. And it was kind of, only cool thing about COVID to me was that people had to listen, or they had to see what was going on. And we had just got in the game, so there was no sports, but we were still cranking it out for 2020. Special thanks to Back Home Tavern, they sponsored us. Special thanks to Michael Wright, they sponsored us. They believed in us, when very few did, and we owe them a lot for that. We got some on the table for them, but it was just insane how that happened, and it was like, okay. Just keep pushing, our time. Wow. And so 2020 we got there. A week later, COVID hit. Then we did everything from the basement for like a year and a half, and I was like, man, let's go. This ain't working. Let's go to TV. It was working, but I was like, they never let us back in the station, man. I'm like, we didn't bring coronavirus, man. Like, can you put me back in the station, please?
Okay,
we was killing it too. So
I want to know a little bit about some of your life as a producer, director, because I had the opportunity to be a part of one of your productions with the Wellness House. Was it the Wellness House? Or the Wellness Show? Pretty good. If you want a smoothie, come to Third Partners. I love them. Yes. Love them. That's a mango smoothie, by the way. Yeah. But the Wellness Wake Up series, just unreal. Shout out to Shondale. She came to me like, Deon, I got a vision. I was like, Shondale talked to me fast. Yeah. Like that. She's like, I got a vision. We talked about it and we got to it. Okay. And it was really TV worthy. Like, we had TV production, TV stations that wanted it. But, Shondale was I think she wanted to kind of make some moves. But I will say this, that season was special. Got a chance for me to do something outside of sports. I feel like, we, critically acclaimed, did well. We, ran up some numbers, and we still have some offers on the table. So, it's just like a baby just waiting to grow. And you can do the Perk Up Show. Perk Up Show. I am saying this though. I do want to venture into other non-sports production, and I will be doing the Master Ball Battle starting at the end of the month. We'll shoot at the White House. Shout out to Brandon White. Just a beautiful place there, right down the street. Yes.
and I am looking to do some other production as well. I'm gonna. I don't know if I'll do anything in movies, but I feel like there could be some good shows that could be created.
Well, I love the way that you guys were putting that together because we were a part of a real set.
Yeah, it was.
And I mean, your crew was moving through so professionally. It was awesome.
I appreciate it. I mean, I take a lot of pride in what I do. I don't really brag. I just brag on my team. I do media, so I mean, you know, like, you're always talking about somebody else. But Shondell did an excellent job of putting a team together. And, you know, with the team that I had and what she had, it was smooth. It was smooth. And the vibe of the whole show.
Oh, we had a ball.
It just really was seamless. I mean, it was you know,
awesome.
And all the shows were different in their own unique way. The artists were, you know, top notch. I mean, the mayor came on and got it cracking, man. He was tearing food up and just, you know, giving us great takes. But that was the energy of that show, and that's why we still have the offers on the table for it. So I'm trying to take that knowledge from there and put it on some other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's really important for us with the Broken Entrepreneur podcast is really kind of dig into not just who you are or some of your success stories, but really understanding any challenges that you may have had and how you overcame those challenges. So can you give us an example of something that almost blocked you or stopped you and how you got over it?
Yeah. I mean, getting cut, all right, I'll say this. As a basketball player, you're built to succeed. So it's all about winning.
Yes.
Period. Like, and you know, you get wins. You can get some small wins out of losses, but it's all about winning. And you know, I got cut, and it was the first time I ever got cut. And I probably didn't handle it the best because I probably should have went back overseas and played for about 10 more years. But when mental health and mental, that is real because you get to some low points. And I know some people who, you know, I was around some people, all right, that, I mean, and I'll just say this, you have to be mentally strong and you have to understand your worth, because at that point I was just, all I knew was basketball, but I knew I could do something. I knew I had some other stuff in the bag, and one of those nights, oh my God, the sports effect, yeah, you know, somehow that came out of that.
Okay.
So sometimes you have to look for silver linings and just dig deep sometimes and know that you're worth more than, you know, a basketball or football or whatever it is, and that you can elevate in other areas.
Right.
Don't get stuck just thinking that it's only one way out. You can figure out other ways to reinvent yourself. And I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs do it, such as Demetrius Wright, Joey Williams, Peanut Johnson, you know, Ahava El Elyon, people that just continue to reinvent themselves. You know, you might not win in the area, or you might, you know, it might not go the way you want, but continue to work hard and to try something different, you know, that's positive. And I tried to do that because I knew there was not, I mean, yeah, we know what's on the other side.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I ain't trying to, and I mean, you can win a lot too in that, but when you lose, it ain't, you know, a lot of stuff get thrown by the wayside, including ethics code and all that stuff. Just saying, people, yeah. So it can get real out here. But the one thing I knew I had a little bit of work, and I felt like if I just powered through this bad time, you know, I could try to make something happen. And that's when I decided to hit fake television.
Okay.
Just because I didn't want to continue to. I didn't want to continue to wait for the next season. I wanted to try to become a businessman, or, you know, get into the business. So, yeah, it can get dark, and I think if you don't have anything, have a plan, when you are if you are hooping or if you are playing a sport, man, you need to have some management or agency like, yo, what's your plan afterwards? Because it does come quicker than you expect. You think you're out there and ain't gonna never, and then next you know, you ain't playing nowhere. And you're like, man, okay, I got this degree, but I ain't really,
You didn't even think about it.
Yeah, you ain't think about it because all you just know, like, winning on this level, ain't nothing gonna stop me there. But I just, so with that being said, I'm trying to create the New Day Media internship for people because everybody sometimes might want to change and do something or get into something in the sports related field or something. And I've had a lot of experience with that. And I'm trying to give that experience to other people, young or old. Yeah, so I don't know if I answered the question, but I was talking a lot. Well, I'm telling you.
So, but in your answer, you said something that strikes me close to my heart.
Okay.
So I am a mental health advocate.
Okay.
I am a strong proponent for those who are either in a struggle or just to make people understand that we are all at risk of a mental health crisis. So what do you do to keep your mental health together today? What do you do to keep Deon together?
I try to slightly meditate. Not like, not just because like I try to think about, okay, what's next? And all right, how to, and try to look into the future a little bit.
Okay.
Because in business, you have to have a game plan, right? You have to have a 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan to go and get. You want to get something from the banks or you want to get something from the sponsor. So, but I've always been able to see a little bit ahead of time, I feel like.
Okay.
So I'm trying to use that vision to like validate everything on the business side. Because the brand is validated. Like people know what it will be validated nationwide after this sports season. But I feel like it's validated in Ohio right now. You see SE Live, you see me, you are like, oh, let's do me, but now it's time to bring something behind that. The SE Live Scholarship Fund, the Dayton Weekly, award show,
Okay. Oh, is that coming?
Yeah, that is coming.
Oh.
So we're gonna have a little Dayton Weekly preseason football show.
Okay.
And a concert a little bit later that kind of honors top players.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to, I work with the Dayton Weekly newspaper. We got to make it better.
Absolutely.
So, I think I answered the question. I don't know if I've answered any of these questions directly, obviously. But
well, guess what? I know that I know so much more about you today, right now, than I did before, and I appreciate you sharing with us. Definitely appreciate you sharing with us.
I appreciate you having me. This place becoming like a staple. Third Perk is becoming like a staple in the city. Right on the corner, right across from the library. And for you to have this going the way you're going is just props to you. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Women Empowerment Series, we definitely bringing that back. I think that is fair.
Shout out to the SHE-Roes.
Yeah, so, but your energy is really contagious for real. It's awesome. And like, you're really making this a cheers type of environment, not just a few people, where the whole city comes in and they know you and just starting to get that vibe here. So, shout out to the Broken Entrepreneur podcast. I appreciate you once again for bringing me on.
Thank you.
She always on her fashion too. You know what I'm saying? She always on her to do her thing here. But it's just a great vibe when you come in here. And I appreciate you having me on today. There's two things I would like to say.
Okay.
Cool. Master Barber Battle That's coming at the end of the month. If you cut heads, you're gonna put yourself on a bigger platform. Check out Master Barber Battle. Unsigned Hype. This is a program for our high school seniors and kids that are out of school who didn't get a scholarship. You get a chance to win a partial scholarship. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah, that's coming up at the end of July.
Okay.
Croc Center type of vibe. We'll get you more information on that.
And I guess one thing we'll need to do is get all of your personal information so people can contact you. Or can you tell us?
SE Live 365. That's
SE Live
365. Right. I got a couple promos and all this stuff. It's like, you're SE Live or SE Live, or I've heard everything. But we're going to get people to get it right and understand it, because branding is big.
Absolutely.
It is as essential as having a business. So this year I will make sure to brand all of the different organizations I work with better.
Okay.
Including Third Perk, if we start some show that she talking about perking it up, or I don't know what she get.
I am the show.
Yeah, I mean, but you also have a great show too. This is a great
I really
show.
don't want the cameras walking around following Juanita. I'm just kidding. I really do. But thanks again, Deon.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you all for tuning in and watching the Broken Entrepreneur Podcast. We do this every week, right here, every Wednesday at 146 East 3rd Street. And remember, guys, even when your dark days come in business and things don't look so well, there's always a solution. So keep searching for the solution. And remember, you are never, ever, ever alone. But I would be remiss if I didn't remind you guys to subscribe to our channel and to support our sponsors. So keep on going on that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.